What's up, Snowy family? We're reacting to Systems Thinking for a Better World, Rebecca Mills. It's a TED Talk. I'm gonna show you how it go.
So, one of the most enduring images of my life is that of a woman running across the road towards me while curiously unzipping and then completely taking off her skirt. She appeared to be moving in slow motion. I was lying in the middle of a steep suburban road trying to get up. My vision was blurring at the time, but I felt a strange sense of peace with warmth flooding down my body. I didn't realize it at that moment, but when I looked down, I knew. That warmth was a torrent of blood. I'd just been hit by a car on my bike and would soon need 2 sets of surgery and 350 stitches in my face alone. I had a
Ah,
fractured skull, a broken wrist, and had lost a lot of the skin on the right side of my face, including my right eyelids.
jeez.
The woman knelt behind me, wrapping her skirt firmly around my head to stop the flow of blood. Despite the fact that I was looking a little worse for wear, having a bad face day perhaps, she didn't hesitate. She was driven by a powerful human instinct we all have, which is to give for the benefit of others. Today, one of the stories we tell ourselves is that there's an assumption of selfishness in the world and that human beings seek to maximize their own self-interest over others. Well, I think it's time.
Wow, that's good. Man, deep story, but just the self-interest and the selfishness that exists in this world right now. Does it really hurt to help the next man? And I truly feel like there's that cycle to where you need to do I'm you need to do what it takes to help the next man. I I've had a revelation very current in my life, and I've realized that back in the day, I used to get up, and my get up and go was to be a better version of myself yesterday. And to be fair, it's still like that, but it's a very deeper meaning now. Now, my get up and go is to be the best version of myself so I can help the next person at the most efficient rate that I could possibly help them. Because if I'm not the best version of myself, if I'm not getting up early, doing the things that I need to do, creating that routine, creating that lifestyle, how am I able to lead by example? How am I able to truly help the next person be who they want to be and look at me as a potential inspiration, or look at certain areas of my life like, wow, it looks like he has that figured out. And it takes a level of discipline, discernment, and drive that I just need to stay to course and create a level of lifestyle that is transcendent of not just my wants and what I feel like I need in order to advance to the next level. It is for the community, is to be a level of hope, a level of understanding. Okay, I see that it's possible because look at him doing it. And that's what gets me up at that 5 a.m. It's not to just, and it's also not for an egoical purpose. It's not just to say, oh yeah, I get up at 5 a.m. every morning and I do this. I run 5 miles and which I do, but it is not for just me. It is for me to be a reflection of what other people want to see in themselves.
For a news story. Our old one is bullshit, right? And it's simply not true. Every day, I'm increasingly encouraged by the image of the woman running across the road and what it represents for us. I'm optimistic because she is not unique. And every day, we see many examples of courage and humanity right across the globe. In our hearts, we know that each of us is ultimately connected.
Scribe is how 4 million people turn processes into step-by-step guides. The hardest part of
We know that each of us is humanity right across the globe. In our hearts, we know that each of us is ultimately connected. We know courage and humanity right across the globe. In our hearts, we know that each of us is ultimately connected.
I love that. In our hearts, we know that each of us is ultimately connected. We are missing that in this world. We are now so caught up in technology, so caught up in social media, and it is truly taking us away from understanding how we can actually connect, really get to know a person, not just know what they're trying to project to the world or what they want other people to see. You to truly have a real conversation with people, get to know them, get to know the good, the bad, and the ugly, get to know the whole environment of why they are the person that they are. You can't see that on social media. And we are also in a place of fulfillment, in a place of, okay, I want to post this so I can get likes, so I can get notarized, so I can have that desire filled. And it lacks a level of true, genuine purpose of connecting with people. If I just want to post so I can get viewership or get notoriety, I'm losing I'm now going to create a level of privacy of the things that I don't want people to see based off of what I think is going to give me more viewership and more likes, more attention. I'm going to consistently post that because that's going to make me feel better about myself because my intention behind all of it is to get likes. It's not to tell people how I genuinely feel or make a genuine connection with people, and we're missing that. And if we can truly just get back to the fact that we all are connected. We all are human beings. We all have a soul, a consciousness. And if we can just use that as our base level, not race, not gender, not sexuality, not any of that. Just use the base level of humanity to show us, hey, we can have a conversation because we do have at least one thing in common. We're human beings. We all bleed. We all we all have a date. Have we all have we all have what we need in order to connect with other people, and we're just missing that in the world. And I just try my hardest to try to connect with people, connect with kids, connect with every person, and make them feel seen. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what's happening in your life. I see you, and I still am here for you, whatever you need. I'm a listening ear, I'm a hand, I'm a shoulder, whatever you need, I'm here.
We know and want what's right for each other. What's right for me is what's right for we. But despite our desire for collective happiness, every day we're increasingly confronted with the effects of resource scarcity, climate change, civil unrest, poverty, and an increasing number of people are being left behind. We have just over 7 billion people sharing our planet today. While 1 billion people are going to bed hungry every night, and 2 billion people have not enough clean water to drink. So here's our dilemma. If 7 of us went out for dinner tonight, and 1 of us at that table had no food, and 2 had no water or wine, we would share. And with a proportionately equal number of people going without globally, our hearts want to do just that. But the issue and the challenges, we feel helpless to catalyze the scale of change needed in the world. Today, I'm a hunter of ways to rapidly create positive impacts for people, planet, and profit. I work with entrepreneurs.
I love her vision and I love the way she is talking. And in America, we live in such a capitalistic economy. It is such a land of opportunity. Do not get me wrong, but it puts you in a mind state of input output. And it it creates a mindset of, okay, I put this amount of work into this thing, and this is what I got out of it. In order for someone else to reach this point, they need to put in that type of work too. And there's a level of desensiti- desensitization to where you don't really care about that hungry person. Like she's saying, 1 in 7 people didn't have food in the world. 2 of 7 people don't have clean water. And we, in America or in these affluent areas, we take that for granted. We care so much about how we can get to the next level or be the next this or the next that, and we miss the scope of humanity, of the people that can truly just get our help and have our assistance. And I feel like our goals as a collective as of right now are in the wrong place. And if we can cultivate a community that truly cares about stuff like that and truly wants the world to be a better place for the grand scheme of humanity, not for notoriety, not to get an award, to truly make a difference in this world, we would see monumental shifts.
Entrepreneurs and startups, business leaders, and increasingly, I like to create strategies for cities, sectors, and global systems change. Every day in my work, I come across an increasing number of people who want to help somehow, but wonder how on earth we're going to manage all of this. But let's not get too down on ourselves. It's fantastic, for example, to see a growing number of philanthropists leveraging their wealth and networks, but also thinking differently.
1 second, y'all. Or sorry, y'all.
Beyond existing charitable models and creating entirely new paths for change. Then there's the growing army of celebrity activists, including the likes of Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, or Angelina Jolie.
Great
Entrepreneurs and
acting.
businesses are also joining this army and seeing the commercial opportunity to create new ventures that put people and planet right alongside profit. The
That's
kickoff of the B team.
what she just said. People and planet right with profit. That is the answer. That is the answer. There's so many people that have so many powerful roles in this on this earth with billions of dollars, but they're not in alignment with planet and people. They're in alignment with their own desires, their own power dynamics. And if we can just equal that out, I don't know the recipe, but if there was a way to possibly equal that out, there would be insane changes. I mean, you would be able to look at these entrepreneurs, these billionaires, as not only an inspiration in the business world, but an inspiration as a human being of who you would like to be like. Not just in a money, money, money. I just want to get rich. Just want to be powerful so I can have control over my life and my situation and humanity or a community or government or state, continent, a country. No, I want to acclimate this amount of wealth so I can distribute it in a manner that is helping humanity. If we can balance that out with the world leaders that exist or these very powerful, wealthy people in the world, it will change the trajectory of it.
By Jochen Zeitz and Sir Richard Branson represents a new and exciting area. The B team is seeking a bold new agenda for business, a plan B, where plan A, business as usual, is no longer an option and frankly not acceptable. I helped an amazing team of people all around the world develop this agenda. an agenda to change the role of business and ignite business leaders everywhere to work towards a plan B. While I'm driven and passionate about my work, if I'm honest with you today, my aim is to design myself out of a role as rapidly as possible. We simply won't need sustainability strategists in the future. My dream is that we'll have the models, mindsets, and approaches built into our DNA.
Mm,
So, how might we do this?
mm.
Well, to create rapid change, we need scalable models to quickly transform our cities, our businesses, sectors, and infrastructure. We also need to work as a collective and highly targeted unit.
Unlike other team management apps, when it comes to time theft, Connect Team's
Work
all
as a
about accurate
collective.
payroll without the blame.
And shout out
GPS
Connect
clock-ins,
Team.
live tracking, geofencing with
Shout 'em
auto
out,
cloakout.
bro.
That's what we
Connect
call
Team is
real-time visibility.
We can do this,
amazing.
but we've got to
Fire.
change gears to get the pace we need. From my experience, I believe that if we each become systems thinkers, then we can unlock points of leverage, blowing our current approach totally out of the water and finding one small change in one thing that will create a big change in everything.
And I just love how she's saying system thinkers, because in order to build a system, you can't just think about yourself. You have to think about everything that is involved with the system. How can it work? How can it be delegated if you're not there? What happens if you can't do everything? How can you implement a system around it that can still work as a machine to help you out, to help your vision out? I love that.
So let me give you a practical example of what I mean and what it looks like to integrate systems thinking into company strategy. So if you're a company that sold, say, soap, and you wanted to double your profits but also have social impact, you might choose to have a sexy, sultry ad campaign. So you could donate a proportion of your increased profit to local community. While of some merit, if you applied an alternative systems thinking lens, you might map out all the issues and opportunities and quickly discover that you could solve a significant social challenge. That challenge being the number of children dying from preventable illnesses around the globe from lack of hand washing. From your mapping out of all the issues, you would discover a leverage point being a strategic partnerships with government.
I love, man, I love that model. It's not just caring about full profit. It's donating that 20% back to a community or back to a foundation that gives true value. We have a thing called Snowy for Schools. So we have a fund where, of course, during all of our events, any event that we do, we donate. If there are payments involved, we donate 20% of our net profit back to that organization. So if you're interested, please hit up Snowy Atlanta. But anyway, so we have a fund. It's called Snowy for Schools, and we use that fund to do things like this: the can drives, the food drives, the toy drives that people can use in order to make a difference in the world with these schools and with these people that are underprivileged, that don't have the same opportunities, kids that have been born into unfair opportunities, to give them a sense of hope, to let them know, hey, we care about you and we want you to succeed. So I appreciate that so much, that she is trying to advocate for businesses that can not just care about their profit and how they can win. They're using their wins to also allow other people, quote unquote, under them to win, or people that are in hard situations and not in the best predicament or the best environment that they would prefer or desire to live in. You're able to help them out and be a person that can let them know you are not alone. And I it can get lonely in this world. So to just let people know, hey, you're not alone. We got your back. It 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 says more than words, and the action actually speaks more than words as well. It's how this community can be cultivated into positivity, and people will now remember how that just transcended the scope of their life, that one act of kindness, or that one thought, that one conversation when the person was just feeling at a maximum low, and you pulled them out, and now they have a burning desire to make sure that no one else feels the way that they used to feel, so now they have that conversation with other people. It's that cycle, it's that generational cycle that we're missing out on, and we can't lose that, because if we don't transfer this to the next generation, it will get lost. And I would not allow for it to get lost. The next generation needs to understand how important it is from the last generation, what they've given us, and just the entire ideology of why generations exist, why dynasties exist, and why you should pass it on to the next man to help the next person out to be a good person.
Governments and health agencies. That partnership would give you increased reach to 1 billion new consumers across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. So not only would you reduce the respiratory illnesses and diarrhea, the world's two biggest causes of child mortality, but you would also
Oh
significantly
my
increase your profits
gosh.
beyond those which you've previously imagined. If you think this sounds too blue sky, you'll be interested to know that Unilever are currently doing just this. So the concept of leverage is one of the most powerful in all of science. Archimedes proved the law of the lever and applied the mathematical principles in a variety of inventions all around the world. He famously said, "Give me a place to stand, and with a lever I will move the world." So leverage points are transformational areas. I call them acupressure points. They're areas where we can unlock systems, creating rocket-fueled pathways for change. Importantly, though, they can only be discovered using a systems thinking lens, as we need to understand all of the parts and interconnections and how they relate to each other in order to find them. So systems thinking then is really a vantage point. It's the vantage point where we can see a whole web of relationships. Issues are seen in a large context of patterns unfolding over time. So if we want to truly
This is why education is so important with the integration of community, because if you are surrounded by educated individuals, especially with a good heart, then you're just able to feed off of each other, learn off of each other, egos to the side, so you're just able to truly figure out the best way, the best plan to get your point across, your vision across. And it is just what is going to allow for certain things to be done in an effective rate to help the next man, to make sure that people are in a good situation. That community, the learning about history, the researching about what humanity has gone through, or what certain groups of people have gone through, and to get to the root of the problem, to try to cultivate and create certain systems, like she's saying, system thinking, for you to now do those things for other people, and have that system in place so where people can walk into it and have it automated, and have it perfectly designed, or greatly designed, to where people can now just get what they need to get out of the situation and move on and be okay and spread the word, or get back on their feet, so they can make a difference in the world, because then now they have it in their soul. This person just took the time out of their life to make sure that I was okay. What's the excuse for me to take the time out of my life to help someone that is in a less fortunate situation than I am? It's it's a short cost to me to help the next man, especially if you have the resources. If you have the resources, why not help the next man? Why not help the next person feel like they can make a way in this world? There's so many people that feel like there's no way that they're gonna get out of their situation, or it's the end all be all, and it's distasteful to me. And I know I come from a fluent situation, so it's different for me to it's hard for me to relate to people that are just truly in a very bad situation, but my heart is so pure that I just want to allow people to feel like there's a chance and do whatever I possibly can in that realm with the resources that I've been stewarded to use and use at an efficient and effective rate to try to help someone, whether it's my intellect or the business or anything that is involved in my ecosystem. How can I help the next man? That is my vision. That's my get up and go.
Engineer our current approach, it's increasingly apparent that we need to move beyond making feel good offerings and deepen our understanding of the systems and structures and causes of our current situation.
Pauses.
This new understanding will prompt the right questions so to mobilize fit for purpose solutions. The quality of our answers will be in direct proportion to the quality of our questions. Einstein, he had the right idea. He had a few of them when he said, if I had 60 minutes to solve a problem and my life depended on it, I would spend 55 minutes determining the right question to ask. Once I had that question, I know that I could solve that problem within 5 minutes. So let's now extract the best learnings from these.
Wow. Albert Einstein said, if I had 60 minutes to solve a problem, I would spend 55 of those minutes asking the right question and then 5 minutes answering the question. Do you understand how powerful that is? Think about all the things that you will have to ask yourself and question in order to all of the angles, all of the perceptions that you will now be putting yourself in. The devil's advocate question, the question of determination, the question of security, all of these questions that will then come together, and then you will realize, okay, this is the perfect question. This is the question that solves that that is the ecosystem of all of these problems or all the issue that is at hand. And then you spend 5 minutes with the solution, but technically you have really spent the whole 60 minutes trying to figure out the solution, because with these questions they're going to be in direct alignment with the solution, because you've given yourself enough time and energy and space to ask the question and to sit with the question, and then that question leads to another question that makes you truly soul search and figure out the right way to ask the question, which then transcends to an answer that is in direct alignment with the question. Man, that is good. Shout out Albert Einstein.
Concepts. It's by thinking in new ways that each of us can harness our full potential to create the more beautiful, equitable world. We all want this world, create the more beautiful, that each of us can harness our full potential to create the more beautiful, equitable world. We all want this
Each of
world,
us.
and we want what's best for each other, just like the woman in the skirt, or without the skirt, as the case may be. Starting from today, I invite you to apply 3 simple new frames of thinking to help guide your now laser-like focus. 1, think in systems. That's the large-scale macro environment all around you.
Think in systems. That is so good. You cannot think in systems and also just think about yourself if you're truly trying to make a difference in this world in a positive light for humanity. There's no way.
2, think about the future, seeing opportunities and patterns rather than discrete issues or events.
Think about the future. Mm-mm-mm. And with the integration of system thinking and the future, see, now you have a vision in place. Now you are doing things to create implementation. And if you're thinking about the future, you're also thinking about how expansion and the way that it can grow, the way it can be better. So the system thinking is a part of planting the seed, but that seed is going to grow as you keep watering it. And if you're thinking about the future, if you're thinking about where your desire is wanting to be, then you're gonna keep watering that plant and keep watering that plant, and then eventually it's gonna grow, it's gonna blossom, and it's gonna be exactly what you are looking for, especially if it's rooted, if the roots are in positivity or in changing the scope of humanity in a positive light, innovating humanity and community, making the world a better place. If that is that's what's in that soil and that root, that it whatever you just planted is gonna grow at such a beautiful pace. Even if it doesn't take the desirable amount of time, when it does grow, it's gonna be beautiful. I mean, it talks about a bamboo tree. It takes 5 years of consistent watering of the seed for it to actually become an exact bamboo tree. And I think about business in that aspect. It takes about 5 years of just hard head down grind for you to truly see fruits of the labor. And I feel like there's so many universal truths. And with the bamboo tree with business, I don't think that's an accident. I think with time, with consistency, with efficiency, there's nothing you can't do.
3, engage others in doing the same.
And engaging and bringing other people into the ecosystem, and not only that ecosystem, but spark their brain to think of something else and create their own system and grow, and then have it just do that domino effect, that snowball effect, where it just gets bigger and bigger. So now that person has a team where they're implementing stuff, then a person on that team now has a new system based off of this entire wave that started with you wanting to make a difference. And now you're doing that at a higher scale, to where you're not in every single boat, but you sparked this entire vision. It's a beautiful thing. Shout out this video.
This will result in a
Shout out
deeply
Rebecca
shared,
Mills.
well
She's a good
tested
human.
view of the future. By applying this thinking, you will find the best opportunities,
Man.
the most impactful opportunities that are already within your sphere of influence. When we all do this, we will change our story, becoming a collective and highly targeted unit. Then maybe, just maybe, together, we will change the world. Thank you.
Shout out Rebecca Mills. Shout out this video. This is a fantastic video. Wow, this was, my soul feels so liberated right now. This was an amazing watch. I am glad I got to spend this time to watch her. Shout out again, Rebecca Mills. Shout out TEDx. If you're watching this video, like, share, subscribe, and y'all have a great day. All right, stream. This was a quick stream. Great video. So glad I spent the time to watch this. Y'all have